Here we are, GladrapChannel. It's the 4th of May. We're at Iron Fist 6 at the Don Rowlands Centre in Lake Karapiro. Joined with you today is Isaac Savage and the legend himself, John the Rebel Conway. 168 fights, Australasian champ, Hong Kong champ, South Pacific welterweight champ, and trainer to the elite fighters across New Zealand. Welcome aboard, John the Rebel Conway.
Thank you, and thanks for having me down here. Beautiful setting.
Nigel, Elliot putting on Iron Fist 6. They're always good cards here down in the lake, and like you were saying earlier, Vegas-esque kind of scenario here tonight. The bright lights, it's action-packed, and the crowd are going wild.
Yeah, it's very nice setting down here in a real country town. Must be the winnings of those horse races that I hear about.
Yeah, lucky for some. But as we go now into fight number 5, we've got Andrew Livic there in the red against Joeroy Palma there in the blue. And both these boys are big boys, looking lean, but they are certainly tipping the scales there at the heavyweight section.
Yes, looking lean, and some of them are looking mean.
Yeah, we've seen that earlier, didn't we, with that southpaw and orthodox, and hopefully we're going to see another barn burn of a fight as we go to the centre ring now. Shot caller, MC Lieutenant Dan, calling out
for headgear.
Oh, are they going to be putting headgear on this fight? They have to, don't they, John?
Yeah, I think they have to.
Nigel Elliot now jumping back in the ring here for the officiation of this fight, or is it going to be David Craig? No, David Craig for this one, calling the shots. The crowd are certainly warmed up now. They've seen an absolute action-packed night of fights so far, and it's only going to get better now with these heavyweights.
Yep, just waiting for the head guard, and once that, or maybe we're going about the head guard.
So he's opting to not have the headgear, which will help his vision, but may not help some of the head shots, the already head clashes.
I'm pretty sure David Craig will make sure one goes on. David Craig, international referee.
Like you said too, these boys are heavyweights, but they're bloody looking mean and lean for this heavyweight bout as we go into fight number 5. 3 by 2-minute rounds. Andrew Livic there in the red, Joeroy Palma there in the blue, going to be putting it all down on the line tonight for fight number 5 on Iron Fist 6. Here we go, round number 1.
Here goes the bell, start of the fight.
Bit of a feeling out process once again, but
it's a nice double jab.
Joeroy, coming out quite aggressively there.
Yeah.
Joeroy there in the black, and Andre Livic there in the red singlet. Fast and furious too, both of these guys. I mean, they're going in and out. Stepping forward there with the left, quadruple jab.
Oh, that's a nice right hand that landed, and again, some good punching.
Liking the way there that I love the activity from Andrew Livic. He's very excited. He looks like he wants to be in there, and he's throwing a lot of shots here at Joeroy Palma there in the black shorts, no singlet.
Yeah, Joeroy's been caught a few times.
Massive hooks there.
Good chin on him.
I mean, that's sometimes too what wins the fights, John. Just aggression and activity, right?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, if 4 punches landed even, then it's the person that's the aggressive that wins the round.
And sometimes a better fighter may lose a fight by just not being aggressive or active, right?
That's right, yep. Be a bit too reserved.
And Joeroy's
coming back, swinging.
Loving the activity of that. Look, I mean, it's one of those fights again. You look at the timer; it's clicked in 30 seconds to go. One of those fast, paced fights that the time just flies. You know, we're only 20 seconds to go, and it's felt like a lot shorter.
Oh, Andrew landed a good right hand to the body.
Big right again there from Andrew.
Andrew scoring well.
Massive shots again, overhand rights. Joeroy coming through now, sort of pot shots, comes back and bursts. But Andrew's certainly the aggressor of the two in that one, and took it to him.
Yeah, Andrew had a good round that run. But Joeroy, he had his moments. think Joeroy needs to slip a punch and let Andrew fall into range, and then Joeroy just starts opening up that way. But Andrew, he's keeping his range quite nicely for most part of that round. When you keep your range and you're the longer fighter, then the shorter fighter can't hit you.
It makes it a bit difficult too with that smothering pace from Andrew. But you're right, Joeroy's got the skills. He just needs to probably, like you said, follow that exact advice to take it home. But, you know, we're only into round 1, we're going to round 2 now, and let's see if he changes up that game plan for the smothering style from Andrew Livic.
Yeah, Joeroy his physique seems like he's a heavier-handed fighter. So he really needs to slip a punch off Andrew and then open up once Andrew falls in. But then again, you need Andrew to fall in. He seems pretty active on his footwork.
He's quite wiry and unpredictable, right? I mean, it's always one of the harder people to fight. Like, and even how he comes out, he's just bouncing.
Yeah.
All over, he's throwing out those jabs already.
Yeah, credit to his fitness there.
He's making it difficult. You're right. Joeroy does look like he's got more power of the two, but he's just struggling to get into the range of Andrew. Credit to Andrew too, though. You know, he is deflecting and getting out of harm's way from a lot of Joeroy's punches.
He is. Got caught then. That's the thing with the head guard. It sort of exaggerates the punch power, because you see a big, large object move rather than a head.
This is John Joeroy
nice
coming
jab,
through.
Nice little short jab there.
Giving him a bit of a confidence too, but just as we said that, Andrew just comes firing through again.
Yeah. I think Andrew is very fit. He hasn't slowed down one bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the Energizer Bunny in there, isn't he? He just doesn't stop.
And he's just throwing punches.
I mean, when is this guy going to gas? You couldn't really do the rope-a-dope technique with him because you might end up
not on 3 rounds,
down.
No, yeah. I think Joeroy's filling the pace a little bit. Andrew seems to be,
body and then head. Yeah. That was a beautiful combo there from Andrew.
Yeah, he's a thinking fighter. It's good to see.
Loving this. It's just a manic style, isn't it? But like you said, fitness. It's. I'm struggling to describe it because he's so fit. He's throwing really good shots.
Yeah.
He's all over the show, but he's controlling this fight. Oh, beautiful body shot uppercut then to the head.
See, Andrew's not the hardest puncher, but he's scoring well.
Yeah, good point. Look at a bit of an overhand right there from left and right. From Joeroy. He's coming through now.
He is.
But a little bit too much too late, I'd say, because the last 3 seconds and that round just flew by, didn't it, John?
Yeah, it was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, for those watching back home too, you know, that was a very, very busy round. I mean, Andrei Livic is taking this home, but Joeroy's got everything in his power, his arsenal to win this fight, and let's see what he can do in round 3. Yes,
he needs to tighten his guard up, and he's the shorter fighter of the two, but he needs to make his target smaller by crouching down. That way, Andrew will have to come in closer to land those punches at that stage. Then Joeroy could stand up with punches, and they'll be on even playing field. You've got to take away the range of Andrew. That's the problem here.
It's hard too, with that reach. You know, like you said, Joeroy's probably got the power of the two, but and Andrew, what he lacks in the power, he makes up for in aggression, speed, activity,
and fitness. Yeah, he's very fit. Well, the crowd are getting right behind this fight. They're enjoying it. A lot of local support for these boys.
It's always good too in these smaller towns, these smaller arenas. Everybody comes together. You know, we always get a sold-out crowd, and the crowd are on their feet certainly for this round number 3.
Yeah.
Andrew Livic there in the red singlet against Joeroy Palma, no singlet, black headgear. Trying to chase Andrew down, and he's certainly doing a bit of a good job early on in this fight, chasing Andrew down. He gets clocked though.
Yeah, Andrew's just got to empty his tanks out and just keep Joeroy away.
Yeah, look, if he's going to be strategic about this, he could just keep firing away and win the fight. But Joeroy probably doesn't want that, so he's going to come through aggressively.
Yeah.
Oh, both boys getting clipped here now.
They are both landing. This is what the crowd wants to see.
The crowd are loving. They're on their feet. 1 minute down, 1 minute to go. Their lungs will be burning. They're screaming. But like you said, this is what fighters do it for, to take it home in that last minute. What's going through their mind right now, you reckon, John?
They're probably wishing that the bell would come.
Yeah, exactly. The lungs will be burning as we go now into that last hurdle, that 50-second clapper. I mean, it's probably going to be the longest part of their lives.
Hey, Andrew's fitness is amazing. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, how do you prepare this like this? What do you do to get this this level at his level?
You just really got to train the house down.
30 seconds go, and he's still banging. He's still not showing any sign of fatigue. This is amazing here from Andrew Livic. He's just a maniac.
Joeroy still landing big punches, though. There goes no one.
Big right there. Just missing again with that last overhand right.
It doesn't seem to affect Andrew. He's like a little bunny rabbit. He's just on his toes, landing, moves, lands, moves.
I think he could go 12 rounds, John.
Yeah, I think so.
He's still throwing. I mean, we're in the last 10 seconds now. They're both going.
Here comes Joeroy. He wants the late knockout.
Oh, what a finish from both boys.
Big fight, good fight.
Wish we'd seen a little bit more there from Joeroy like that in that last 10.
Yeah, a little bit too late.
What a performance,
But
man.
Good performance, good fight. Crowd enjoyed that fight.
And that's one of those fights too where both guys can be proud of themselves. They both threw it down.
Yeah.
They put everything out there.
Yep. Both respecting each other's corners, which is good to see in the sport.
Whereas we know you're pretty much brothers with someone too. After you fought them, you've thrown down blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah, you both give it everything.
Here we go now for the official decision from Lieutenant Dan Hennessy, as David Craig will now call both fighters centre ring.
No one does it better than Dan.
Lieutenant Dan now here with the decision. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Andrew Livic, and what a win it was. Well deserved. Certainly took that one home. What a fight.
Good fight.